This is Naveen Nanjundappa. Welcome to this channel. I'm sure you're enjoying the previous questions and answers, and I'm making you think through a lot of situations. Today's question is a very interesting one. After the training is completed and a lot of myths are busted in my CSM and CSPO class, the student asked me, "Sir, what would be your advice to our managers when we know that there is a lot of myths in the organization?" And my response to them was, firstly, advice to you, for the people who are looking for advices to their managers. Yes, I would like to first tell you that there is a lot of times that people think that, yes, the management has to do something, the managers has to change over, the managers have to learn something, but then they don't understand that there is a small piece of change that is required from your side as well. What are those? The first one that I would always tell people is, do not try to convince or advise somebody. The moment you get into advising or convincing somebody, if the other person is already determined not to get convinced, no matter how hard you try, it is not going to work out. So, do not try to advise or convince anybody change their thoughts. Then, of course, you're not supposed to convince or advise. The moment you go with this thought process of, I want to convince somebody, I want to advise somebody, there is an implicit thought process that is unfortunately taken as, I am right, you're wrong, so I am telling you. No, the advice could be a mutual consent as well, but then it is not taken positively. At least it appears to be so. So, never try to advise somebody or don't try to convince somebody. That's the first advice while you're advising someone else. Then, you should have the courage to call spade a spade. A lot of time what happens is people just go ahead and they don't call a spade a spade. That means if something is wrong, they don't call it loud and say that this is ineffective, this is wrong, or why don't we try to change something here when we are ineffective and failing. In fact, people want to give a goody-goody response to their stakeholders, customers, users, or even the management and managers. Start calling spade a spade. That means have courage to speak up loud if something is going wrong. So you should focus on building the right thing, building the right way, and being more effective and efficient in what you do. So you should have the courage to call spade a spade. That means call out an issue. Reflect on the situations to your management. So my advice to you is going to be like, be a mirror. When you try to advise somebody, they're going to decide. If they decide that I don't want to get advice, they're blocked. So do not try to advise. Instead, be like a mirror. Just reflect what is the current situations and what is the current reality. Let them look at the current reality and advise. A simple exercise that you can do to reflect on the current situations or reality. Let's say, for example, there is a role conflict, would be to ask the team members to write down what they understand about the roles and responsibility of a specific person and ask the management about what do they think is the roles and responsibilities of this person. And bring these two sheets together or people together and look at the differences or similarities that they have. I'm 100% sure that they will be shocked to understand management is expecting something while the team members are expecting something else, and there is no common aspect between them, which means they are going to work towards conflicts, and that is how you reflect on the current situations. Make them realize that they don't have a common understanding or they need to improvise on their current understanding of the situation. Master your skills. Remember, as a Scrum Master or Product Owner or any other responsibilities that you take, you should master your skills. People should be able to trust you on your skills, capabilities, results, and performance. Yes, skills, capabilities, results, and performance. You may have the skills, but the teams and management may not trust you on the capability and the results. So, you need to build upon all these parameters and be trustable. So master over your skills, demonstrate your skills, and also learn about the leadership skills, leadership styles. As you grow older in the organizations and get more experiences, you have to turn to be a leader to your organization and your teams. You cannot just be a person who is going to be a non-leadership oriented personality. It is a very essential stuff as you move forward in your career to acquire leadership skills, even to deal with your team members while you're working. understand the bigger picture. I see a lot of people who wants to claim that the management don't understand. Unfortunately, they don't understand the bigger picture of how the organization works, how the contracts work, how the flow in the management works, the policies are made, what is the management, which means you need to be thinking like an entrepreneur and learn about how to run an organization, work with people with different mindset, different ecosystem, different constraints, competitiveness. Build that bigger understanding of the company, of the way we are working. Only then you will get to know what your management is trying to do. In such cases, you will be able to reflect your situations or the team's situations much better to the stakeholders and organization managers. I hope before I start advising to your managers, the advices that I have given you here is going to make you think more deeply into how do you advise or how do you stay on top of your situations. Now, let's come to the managers. Yes, I don't want to advise the managers and the leaders of your organization. I can only share some points to ponder for your managers. Yes, here are some of the points that usually managers ignore or overlook at. Of the many that I can talk for an hour or so, I'm just going to list down a few so that if you are interested, you can dig deeper. If you need some more information, you can always feel free to contact me. I would leave the WhatsApp message number on this particular video. The first thing is, as managers, you should be aware that you're working on a multi-million-dollar projects, which means you're taking a high risk. When you're taking a high risk or you're having a high risk project, the best thing to do is to reduce the risk by keeping the product backlog items smaller, building a self-organizing team, and reflecting on incrementally and iteratively towards reducing the risk. I think I give you a lot of points. First, remember that you are working on a multi-million-dollar products and you will have to go ahead and reduce the risk along with your teams. Are you doing so? Think over it. Many times what happens is managers think that the Scrum and Agile is not for the managers, but it is only for the teams. Sorry. Scrum and Agile. Scrum is a framework. Agile is a set of values and principles. They are not only for the teams. They are for the whole organization. The values and principles have to be followed by everybody, right from the CEO of the company to the last engineers who are working in the team. So everyone should be adhering to the values and principles to be agile, adaptable, and Scrum as a framework gives you certain rules and guidelines that everybody understands and adapts to it. Think over. Are you a manager who's thinking Scrum is others are doing it, we have to do it? Or just a set of practices where everybody come in the morning, stand in the circle, answer 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you planning to do today? What are your impediments? Write the user stories, estimate in story points, find out the velocity, burn down chart, Jira tool, 2-week sprint, demonstrate the product. We are agile. We are using Scrum. Sorry. Scrum is not just this. Scrum is about building an ecosystem that is required to inspect and adapt. The leaders have to be focused towards building the self-organizing, self-managing team, providing the ecosystem required for them, supporting the team, ensuring that the team has all the necessary things to adapt, which means the strategies, tools, and techniques that the organization has for the contractual types should also be adaptable. Having an agile project and then a fixed bid contract is going to make you non-agile because the contract drives you to fix all the parameters like scope, time, cost, and quality, while agility requires an adaptation and you don't have the strategy that helps you to adapt, but you have fixed all the parameters through your contracts. Think about it. Agile needs to be adapted at all levels. So, are you the manager who thinks that Agile and Scrum is only for your team members and not for me? Reflection is required. Do not copy-paste the strategies, tools, and techniques. Strategies makes you win, while tools and techniques makes you be more effective and efficient at the work. Now, there are a lot of strategies, a lot of tools and techniques. If you start copy-pasting the tools and techniques and strategies just because others are using it, you're going to fail. And hence I keep saying, the strategies that we use in 1990s, 2000, 2010, 2020s may not work today or the next year. So we need to constantly inspect and adapt on the strategies, inspect and adapt on the tools and techniques as the market condition changes and the complexity of the work that we are dealing with changes. Are you a manager who's looking at copy pasting the tools and techniques and strategies that were working before and expecting that they will work and do miracle now? Sorry, think over again. Focus on the self-organizing team, collaborative teams, self-managing teams. So focus on building a collaborative ecosystem where teams evolve as a self-organizing cross-functional teams. A collaborative teams are the ones which will work towards their common goal. They work towards each other's objective. They hold each other accountable. Do you have a team which is collaborative? What have you done to build a collaborative teams? Just reflect over. It is high time we focus on building a collaborative teams. The last one for now is many managers think that the Agile training is a tick mark on their schedule. The training needs to be attended by the managers as well as the team members simultaneously. I see a lot of people having one or two people from each team being picked up to attend the trainings. Please don't do that. Get the whole team into the training. Get the whole team trained at once and you be part of that particular training. Let the managers, if possible, the HR person also attend the training along with the team members. So I would strongly recommend the managers to consider attending the training with the HR person, the team members, and the other stakeholders or subject matter experts who work with the team. Let everybody understand what is the essence of agility and Scrum and what are their responsibilities to make the team more self-organizing and focused towards the goal. As I started, I don't want to give a lot of advices to the managers, but I just want to reflect on the reality. But still, with the question that was asked by the student, I'm trying to go ahead and help you ponder over some of the points here listed. There are many more. If you want to go ahead and talk about or you would want to talk to me, please leave a message. I'll be happy to connect with you. This is Naveen Nanjundappa signing off. Thank you so much for this session. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, and you can go ahead and subscribe it. Please don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get a notification every time I send it across. Thank you so much. This is Naveen Nanjundappa signing off for this session.